So I'd like to invite you now just to sit with me for a few minutes. You can call this a guided meditation or just a moment to rest. I try and do this as much as I can in the mornings, throughout the day, before bed. An orientation, a surrender. Just the natural meditation towards silence. And by the end of this all, by the end of all the paths and the methods and the trying and the effort, this is the last thing that makes sense. Because in silence, there is a surrender. Silence doesn't let you through the door with a sword or a shield or a way out. Silence just asks that you drop all agendas and face it completely vulnerable, completely naked, completely free. Many of us, especially in this community, and for those that have gotten fed up of life, and the security and the safety, and the cages, the prisons of mind, have had this calling towards silence since the day you were born. It may just be now that you're ready to listen. Your willingness to sit in the silence and to let the self and the resistances burn is now greater than that need for comfort and sedation. For silence really is the only teacher, and everything burns in silence, in that light of seeing. I want this to be a place where you can come to rest and feel the silence in my voice, to see the silence above the noise as you look out from the peak. Whether your day is going terribly or you're having a good day, silence is perfect for both. It could also be known as stillness. Because when you truly get still, not physically or with your body, but inside, that inner stillness does not need to defend or attack. It's allowed itself to become completely naked and completely vulnerable. This is the kind of openness we felt as a child when we didn't have these barriers up, when we didn't form these resistances growing up through our teenage years into our 20s, where we slowly started to learn we needed a defense, we needed a method, we needed ways to make money, start a job, a family. All of these conditionings that we're told to do, we should, we could, we shouldn't, couldn't. It just creates resistance. And we often forget you can live life completely free of all of these conditionings. And so all that's left on this path after years of trying and methods and techniques is the most advanced, basic teaching of all, and that's to orient towards silence, the greatest teacher. And you may start to feel the defenses start to come down, even if it's scary, even if it's vulnerable. Love is all that remains under the defense. Your work is simply to find these barriers and let them melt. Because you don't die when they do. You're not in danger when they do. When you let them fall, you taste freedom. You taste what it's like to be completely open. And in that openness is the sweetest liberation you ever tasted. Not away from life, not away from even pain, but a complete letting go of even needing to get anywhere else and achieve another state that's in the future, that feels better, that feels more happy. You can finally just let yourself be completely ordinary, completely open, completely free. No matter how much you read about enlightenment, or freedom, or other people's paths, everyone's path ends in the burning of silence. And this isn't something you have to keep on the cushion, away from the sound of noise. You can stay vulnerable out in the world. You can learn and unlearn to remain as open as you can, even when everyone in your way is closed. And in that way, you invite others to open too. And that's the greatest courage of all. And you can sense it in others when they are open. So right now, if you're going through something, for the first time, you may have this invitation to just let it be there in the silence. And don't even try and figure it out. Don't even try and get away from it. Because in this stillness, when you remain exactly where you are, you'll see all the suffering was simply you trying to get away from this. When you're completely vulnerable, whether in relationship, with yourself, with your worries and your fears, they start to transform. Because there isn't a barrier between you and the pain. You simply invite it in. You see it for what it is, without agenda, without a need to change it. And that too is the ultimate meditation that needs no other instruction. For when meditation is simple, it's the most powerful. And this silence grows within, like a seed that you water. For those that sit in the silence and orient towards the silence, allow this flower to grow, the silent flower. And when it blooms, it's simply joy, because you've gotten out the way. You've allowed it to show you true peace, true vulnerability, true openness. And this is the new freedom There are no bliss states. There's just complete vulnerability, and that's love.